Welcome to the case closed for Call of Duty Black Ops 3. I'm Wiskosk, otherwise known as Jay, and I have Simon, otherwise known as Stuntman, with me.
Hello.
So we've both played quite a lot of this game. I think we've got like 40 hours each in it or something.
I got less, but yeah, we played, quite a lot of it.
Uh, they've really outdone themselves with the campaign mode, I think. Even though it's missing Black Ops 2's like differing choices for the branching campaign, it's still a very engaging thing overall.
Well, when I started the game, one of the things that I noticed I missed Black Ops Spot in Black Ops 3. I barely seen any reference. I was like, the second Black Ops game was, you know, you kind of continued off, well, almost in where you left the previous game. You kind of had the same characters, you had the same settings. No, it was a continuation. This one, you barely have any reference, and it doesn't. It's hard to be a sequel. It's much harder. And another thing is, like, when you begin the game, it starts quite slow. Like, the first mission is slow, to say the least. It almost felt boring because none of your powers are there. You don't have any good toys or anything. And you just can see, Taylor's team going on and having all the fun.
I think that's what it's there for, though. It's to make you realize just how awesome those powers are when you don't have them. But at the same time, I totally agreed it was boring. Because when I first booted the game up, I was like, oh, I really don't care. Like, I had no motivation to keep playing. And then it jumped right in and gave me the powers, and I was like, yes, this is finally it.
Remember when we replayed the first level with the powers?
Yeah, it plays a lot differently.
You kind of felt like you're, it was a piece of cake. You're just having fun. You don't put any effort into surviving. It's just, watch out for me.
I like that aspect of it. I mean, you can be like that in a lot of the other levels as well. Especially when you release the Fireflies.
Yeah, but the first level had the biggest contrast.
True.
Another thing about the campaign is I wasn't as involved. I don't know, I feel quite distracted. And the game got much better as it moved on, but the first, I don't know, third or half of the game is very, I don't know, it just doesn't involve you too much.
I think the main problem I had was that they handled the subject matter really kind of ham-fistedly.
Yeah, it was very vague.
Because it's like, transhumanism's usually handled really subtly. Look at things like Ghost in the Shell, another anime, Knights of Sidonia, Deus Ex for a gaming example.
The thing is, you don't expect it to see here. Not in a Call of Duty title. It's too heavy for that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm impressed with the... I just realised I can't say that because it's a spoiler.
Yeah, let's try to stay away from that.
There was something after I finished the game that did impress me a little bit and got me thinking about the events and like what certain things meant. But overall, it was just, hey, there's people with robot parts, have fun, which I didn't expect anymore. It's Call of Duty.
I guess when you're having a second playthrough, you're starting to notice a lot of minor details that are kind of, skipped by the first time. And yeah, it makes it cooler to an extent, but it's still, I would have liked to have a bigger connection to the previous Black Ops games. I think that would have helped me, I don't know, be more involved.
Yeah, the only connections I noticed were, well, one, the mention of drone defenses having to be implemented because of Menendez's attack from Black Ops 2. The mention of Menendez himself in that exact same conversation, and the Nova 6 nerve gas from Black Ops as well.
Yeah, which is not a lot.
They basically just name dropped two things from previous Black Ops games and called it a day. They're like, yeah, that's enough.
It almost has more connection to Advanced Warfare than it has to Black Ops. Well, it kind of feels like that. It doesn't really, but it's because of all the cybernetics and stuff like that. All the abilities like jumping, sliding,
Yeah, I mean, in terms of story and like connection to the Black Ops franchise, this is definitely the weakest Black Ops of the three. But compared to Modern Warfare 2 and 3, it's still the best by far.
Yeah, that might sound discouraging that it's the weakest Black Ops game, but Black Ops is a really good sub-franchise. It's a really strong game on its own. I mean, thoroughly enjoyed the first two Black Ops games.
Yeah, me too. They're my favorite Call of Duties, even over the originals. Like all the Treyarch ones are my favorites.
The originals didn't have that much of a story. It was more of a setting.
But yeah, it was just a dumb World War II shooter. They were just copying Medal of Honor. They were actually copying Medal of Honor. It was some of the same development team.
Yeah, it was. But it was always good, and that's the funny thing with Call of Duty. When Call of Duty comes out, you know what to expect, and you know that it's gonna be good. At least the shooting is very solid.
Yeah, the shooting's really smooth. Your guns are accurate. Your character doesn't suffer from like really bad recoil control. It's a shooting gallery. It feels like being at the arcade playing with a light gun machine. And that's great. It's exactly what it sets out to do, and it's perfect at it.
The only thing that I'm missing from Call of Duty games, well, in general, are the sound effects. Like, for me, most of the guns sound a bit weak.
Yeah, Advanced Warfare nailed the sound effects. Like, a lot of the guns sounded heavier in that, and then they've gone back to sounding like toys in this one.
Yeah, I mean, Battlefield was always kind of the benchmark where what I wanted the guns to sound like, and this was a bit...
It really stands out a lot if you activate the Super Crunch audio mode, which makes everything louder and more boomier by boosting the bass. And the guns still sound like toys, like there's no bass at all, the subwoofer doesn't even kick in, even slightly.
The other thing that was disappointing is the performance.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up too. The performance is horrible right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's been, a week since launch?
We did get a day one patch, and Treyarch have said that they're aware of the issues and they are working on it. But judging by the severity of it, there's something seriously wrong, and it might take a couple of weeks of work to fix it.
I wouldn't be surprised if it takes more.
Me either. Of course Activision is still going to be pressuring them to get the DLC done. We booted up the game just now today, and there was a DLC advertisement on the bot launch of the game. So, wouldn't surprise me if we're going to see one of those packs very soon. Maybe even before a fix for the performance issues.
Like, I have no doubt that it will be mostly fixed. But, yeah, it's very annoying. Like, the constant stuttering, it just, like, we even played right now for this recording, and it was horrible.
Bit of updated info on the patch while we're talking about it. Apparently we're getting a big one next week.
Here we go.
No info on what's actually in it, but chances are it's the performance patch.
The thing that really surprised me is how it passed everyone by. Like, Call of Duty is supposed to be the biggest brand in the industry, and very few people actually got in and played it.
Yeah, it's been a very quiet release this year, but again, Fallout 4 came out, so a lot of people just kind of went, I've played Call of Duty before, you've seen one, you've seen them all, right?
Might be the case, but I think it's just losing it, it's a deal. I mean, people are probably just tired of it.
It's been, like a decade now since Call of Duty started?
Yeah, with one game every year.
I think they're going in the right direction, pushing this future combat aspect, but Advanced Warfare did it a lot better. I'd like to see a Call of Duty actually innovate and do like a Space Marines game or something.
Black Ops 3 felt a bit RPG-ish. Like with all the pickups where you have to hold the button with a kind of big prompts and stuff like that. I don't know, for me it felt a bit like being in an RPG.
Kind of, yeah, I can see that. It really felt more like they were trying to push your augmented vision aspects by having those big pop-ups when you go near an interactable object. Speaking of which, the enhanced vision, augmented reality, TACnet, whatever you want to call it, is an awesome aspect. We found that out the first time we played when I had the augmented vision on, and you were scouting ahead, marking enemies, and I was just picking them off through walls with a sniper rifle. That was amazing. That was such a cool experience.
I'd say even if it skipped different, choices, different outcomes. I think this is one of the most innovative Call of Duty games in a long time.
They've definitely cut the fluff out.
Yeah, you have the co-op, you have different New Game Plus, if you will. You have a lot of things.
Right now, we've got the main campaign, which you can go back to and earn more unlocks and accolades after finishing it. When you finish the main campaign, you've got Nightmares mode, which is the campaign levels again with a different story and zombies. Then you've got the multiplayer, which is all your standard modes you've come to expect. And on top of all that, you've got zombies as well, which is absolutely rock hard, and we survived about a minute total.
Yeah, it was a bit longer. Like, my biggest problem with the zombies is it's too numerical.
It doesn't feel like you're shooting numbers anymore, though.
It doesn't feel as Call of Duty, right? Because zombies become bullet sponges, and I don't know, I personally don't enjoy it too much. It's cool for a bit, but it gets old really quick.
Yeah, I never was a fan of the zombies mode myself. I could see myself playing the campaign zombies, the Nightmares mode, quite a bit.
Yeah, that's much better.
But the campaign co-op's really where the meat of it is for me personally. Anything with campaign co-op, Gears of War, Halo, Sniper Elite 3, Black Ops 3 now, like that's the kind of game I love.
Everything is better with co-op, isn't it?
Well, that's it. I mean, they don't even they've done it properly as well. They don't even explain where the other character comes from. It's just like, hey, you can play with friends, enjoy.
But it doesn't feel like very tacked on. It a bit, but not too much.
Well, there's so many options that you can do, like in terms of customizing your character, that it always feels like everybody's got a role, so it doesn't feel like you're just jamming another player in. Like Halo, for example, sometimes it feels like another player's just been jammed in, and they don't really have a role in certain areas. But in Call of Duty, like, you're constantly covering each other, like one of you's disabling robots, the other one's hijacking a drone, someone else is shooting fireflies at people, sharing vision.
We haven't tried playing with 4 players. I don't know, it might be a bit too crowded, but playing just,
I think 4 players might be too crowded. I could see a couple of the big fights being better with 4 people. Like, the Hypo Center one in the middle of the campaign, where you fight the mech in the big outdoor fountain area. It was in the mission that should be playing in the background. That area could be cool with 4 players, because there's like the building on the left where someone could get in and snipe.
Yeah, but you need more enemies for that, and it doesn't actually scale.
I think if you ramped up the difficulty to like Veteran or Insanity or whatever the new highest is, where you go down in like 1 or 2 shots, so you all had to be really careful and draw fire properly. I could see that being amazing. But it's not the kind of mode I'd try without like a full group of people.
What about the multiplayer?
Only had a little bit of time with it. I've played about 3 hours so far. Most striking thing for me is that you earn crypto keys for playing. It's basically a separate XP bar, fills up like a third per match, and you can trade in crypto keys for boxes that get you like black market weapon attachments that you can stick on your guns in either multiplayer or campaign. Otherwise, it's pretty much just Call of Duty multiplayer. It's the same thing we've seen for like the last 3 years, except with wall running.
Yeah, which isn't a bad thing per se.
It's not. It's fun. The servers are really stable. There was no lag.
And dedicated servers. And moddable servers. Well, it's just a promise at the moment, but this is what kind of gives me a lot of hope for this game.
I'm very skeptical about us getting those dedicated servers, because they promised it mid-2016, but at that point, Infinity Ward's next Call of Duty is going to be only 5 months away, and I really don't think it'll happen. I think by that point, Treyarch needs to be working on the next game.
Yeah, but Treyarch was always kind of generous developer.
True. They're definitely, out of the 3, they're definitely the one who gives the most per game. Sledgehammer have definitely proven themselves to be best at the campaign.
Well, they did just 1 game so far.
But it's one of the best campaigns in the entire series. It definitely meets Black Ops 2's campaign in terms of quality.
It was quite good. Press F to salute.
That was just stupid. Press F to pay respects, I think it was.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's it.
The rest of it was good, though.
Call of Duty is always good, just the single players, just some are better, some are worse.
I think it's more the length of the single players that people complain about rather than their quality. Playing through, I've forgotten the name of them now, they're so old. Modern Warfare 2 and 3, they're not very long, but they are still good. You know, they're very fast-paced, very shooting gallery-like. You know, you're constantly moving forward. You never get pinned down.
Actually, that kind of gave me a thought. Like, is Call of Duty becoming a bit more tactical?
With the more open areas, I feel like it is, especially in co-op. You know, because you've got the distraction abilities now, so you can like open a line through the enemies and flank them.
Activision, pay attention. You don't want smart people coming into your game.
Yeah, that could actually be the death of the series unless they actually innovate and really do something with it. Which Treyarch seem to be doing. They're actually improving with each game.
Yeah, but that's done a bit, marginally.
Yeah, but still, you know, they are trying. And I think now that they've got that full 3-year release cycle, the next Call of Duty from them might be even better.
I mean, for me, practically all the Call of Duties are satisfying.
Yeah, definitely.
There are a lot of, there usually are issues, like Advanced Warfare had issues, the same performance issues. Black Ops have issues. Previous games had issues with either performance or the network or something else.
Well, that's it.
And the price.
Right now, they're running on a very, very heavily modded Quake 3 engine that isn't even meant to do the effects that you're seeing.
I thought that's a new engine.
The Infinity Ward engine's just a really heavily modded Quake 3 engine.
Yeah, but I thought this was a new engine that came with Ghosts.
Not
with the fish AI.
I might be completely proven wrong here, in which case we'll...
Yeah, we need to double check the facts, but it doesn't matter, it looks good. The game looks good. I mean, it always used to look good. It wasn't, just an industry.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I was confused. It's not Quake 3 engine, it's ID Tech 3, which did run Quake 3, but it's not called the Quake 3 engine.
Yeah, but it's basically that's what it is.
Yeah, I got the name wrong, but
that's what it is.
That's where it is.
But, I mean, Call of Duty was always good looking.
Well, that's it. It's the texture work that really makes it.
It's not even the texture work. It's the detail that comes into each level and the environment.
Yeah, when you're shooting, you're seeing things flying off of tables and there's like dust everywhere and it looks awesome.
Everything has feedback.
Yeah, definitely.
So, what our conclusion is? Well, probably the same as on the review, but yeah. I think it's
having had more time with the game and actually exploring Nightmares mode and Zombies mode a little bit more today, I'd say my score still stands. 4 out of 5. If the performance issues are fixed next week, I'd give it a 5.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I'd still give it a 4.5. But at the moment, the performance is the biggest thorn in its side, and it's, I'm pretty sure it will be fixed. But it is really, really annoying at the moment. At points, it's sometimes unplayable.
Well, that's it. It's not just a minor performance dip either. We're talking going down into single digits from like 100 FPS.
Sometimes I'm not even, I know I might be running at anywhere between 40 and 80 FPS, and I just have, just stutters.
Well, I ramped up the frame cap all the way up to 260, and I can run the game on my 780 GTX at about 120 FPS when it's working properly. But of course, it works properly for like 5 minutes out of the entire campaign right now. So it's usually running anywhere between about 3 FPS and 40. So the game is unplayable at 40 FPS as well. Because it's not just the game doesn't slow down when you drop frames. You're just missing whole chunks of information on screen.
Yeah, it seems like it's skipping. It's impossible to aim.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. One frame is staying on screen too long, and the next 5 or 6 frames aren't getting shown. So there's information missing, and you've kind of got this cognitive dissonance effect where what you're doing and what you're seeing aren't the same, and there's lag between them.
As a conclusion, I'd say for anybody who likes Call of Duty, if the performance isn't a deal breaker, well, it will be a game breaker, but if people are willing to suffer through it, you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Every
Plus we think
single
it's
year.
being fixed next week, so
If I don't know about next week, or it might be fixed later, but I'm sure it will be. And I don't mind replaying the game again in a couple of months. It might be even better.
Especially with the co-op, there's a lot to come back to with the co-op.
Yeah, I think we will have quite a few replays till the next Call of Duty whatever hits.
Yeah, I usually play through a Call of Duty game 4 or 5 times on my own, and now that there's co-op in there, I could see that easily doubling.
Especially considering as more of our friends will be getting it, we'll probably try playing with more people on higher difficulties as well.
Maybe getting a full squad into multiplayer will extend the life even more, because we've not really given that enough time yet.
Moddable servers.
Yeah, absolutely. When we get a proper server browser.
Yeah, just playing with friends on a modded server, just for fun.
Making our own maps, maybe. I could see that being amazing.
Well, we are not going to do that, but...
No, but I meant as the community.
Yeah.
You've got, we're going to get proper modding and map tools, and I wonder if that was a lesson learned from Doom 3, but we are running on quite a lot, so...
I think, yeah, as I said, if somebody, everybody knows what Call of Duty is about. If it's your forte, go for it. If it's something that you hate and you shouldn't even consider, it's same thing as each year. I like going and seeing another shitty Transformers movie. It gives me a pleasure for that period of time, and no, it's same with Call of Duty.
The only thing I'd add to that is that if you like co-op games but don't like Call of Duty, you might still find something to like.
Get it during the sale.